Hey guys, this is Craig with Mutt's Gear Shack, and I've done something I wasn't sure I'd ever do. I bought a Chibson. Now I know that a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings on these. We're not going to get into the moral ethics of this these kind of guitars, but I wanted to see what the deal was with these. A lot of people say they're complete, absolute garbage. Some people say that they're actually decent guitars, except for the hardware and pickups. So I bought one. We're going to unbox it here, and I'm going to see what we actually got. Some people, I know one guy, when he ordered one of these things, he got some plastic chairs. There's some damage to the box, so I'm a little concerned that maybe some damage on the guitar, so we will see. Alright, let's get this box out of here. No broken headstock. That's always a concern with a Gibson style headstock. And what I got was the Randy Rhoads model. And you can see they put a decal on the headstock over top of the offensive word that they put on. This one says Chibald. I don't know. I don't know if you can even see that. But it says like Chibald or Chibald or something. I don't even know. And you can see on the back, Randy Rhoads. Has Randy Rhoads on the pick guard. I'm not seeing any issues with it at all. It's very yellow. I know they were going for that aged white. And in their defense, I have seen some actual 70s and 80s Les Paul Customs that were pretty yellow like this. We'll get a little closer look. I can see some like finish issues across the binding here and there, but this thing was less than $260 shipped to my door here in Alaska. I have to pay a little bit more shipping, and I have to have it shipped to a hub in Washington, which the shipping to the hub in Washington was free. I had to pay another $34 to get it up here to Alaska. So, like I said, made it just a little under $260. Decent weight. It's got a decent sized neck on it. It's not super fat. It kind of does feel like an R9. I do have some experience with, I had one custom shop, Les Paul Custom, and I've had multiple Les Paul Customs and, Gibson Les Pauls over the years. Headstock is a little wonky. The headstocks on these aren't exact. I mean, the open book on it is a little more pronounced. And knob placement looks a little not quite perfect. I do have, only Les Paul I have left right now is an old 81 XR1 up there. I've had forever. Really good guitar though. Man, the finish is really nice on this. I'm just kind of, taking it all in. It's got the small pin bridge instead of the big slot head that you see on a lot of the imports. Now everybody says that the pickups are absolute garbage. Most of them aren't potted, so we're going to check that out, see if they squeal. Pretty, the frets don't look too bad. They need a polish. But it's, the binding looked good. Like the last Les Paul I bought brand new, an actual Gibson, I had to end up scraping the fretboard and the binding on the side. That was just a mess where they just didn't clean it up good. This actually looks better than the actual Gibson I got in that respect. Not bad, guys. And it did come with one of those generic cables, but they didn't have to include anything, so I guess, I don't have use for it, but maybe somebody does. So let's get this decal off of here. Look away if you're easily offended. And there it is, folks. It'd be better if they didn't do this, just a blank headstock or maybe just the diamond and just not put anything. Or better, maybe I seen somebody had done Chibson across their headstock. Actually, looked kind of cool. If you look really close, you can see some imperfections there in the binding, or the finish on the binding. And it's got a few of those around here and there. I'm sure this gold plating would wear off pretty quickly. You can see, like I said, up close, there's some imperfections. But again, this is a less than $300 shipped guitar. So See some more imperfections along there. Nice finish. These things here come off. It's just some kind of protection stuff, so I'll peel all those off. It even has a volute. All right, let's pull off these cavities and see what we got inside here. Let's pull off our cavity covers and see. Some of these have full-size pots. Most are going to be the small ones, and these are pretty stiff to move. Yeah, we got the small pots. So, not sure what kind of wood. I mean, it kind of does look like mahogany. I mean, it's really hard to tell on these guitars what you've got. I do think there's room to put full-size pots, and that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to mod this. I'm going to put good pots in it, switch, and I've got some old Gibson pickups out of a Sonex. So I'm going to stick those in it, and we'll see how the tuners work. If the tuners are holding, I'll probably just leave those on for now. And maybe I'll get some of the brass parts to dress it up as the actual custom shop Randy Rhoads had. Alright, and there's the switch. Nothing much to see inside of that. Pull off our truss rod cover, see what we got in there. And there's lots of tells on these things. I mean, if you know real Gibsons, you know, you can tell that this is not legitimate. I mean, from, you know, you're playing this thing out though, and you don't want to take your good guitars, you know, from the audience. They're not going to tell. Most people aren't going to spot that this thing isn't the legitimate thing. The people there, I see a lot of comments. Some people feel that some of these are almost as good as the real thing. My opinion, no. No, it seems to be a decent guitar, but I mean, it's not even remotely close to an actual Gibson. So there's our truss rod. You know, definitely not like a Gibson style. And they've got, I noticed the truss rod cover is a little crooked. I'm going to fill that hole and re-drill it so that it sets on straight. Some sort of a plastic inlay. It doesn't look bad. We'll pull the pickups and see what it says on the back of there. I'm going to change the strings, oil the fretboard, and polish the frets a little bit. And we'll get some measurements too, get a reading on what these pickups are putting out. Like I said, I'm going to be replacing them anyway, but just for fun. I noticed there's a little discoloration, a little darker area right there. You can kind of see. I mean, it's a cool looking guitar. Then we'll get a playing demo of this thing. So some people say they get some that are finished in nitro or, you know, nitrocellulose. So we're going to try an acetone test and see if anything comes off. If it dissolves the finish at all. No. So I'm going to say this is a poly or polyurethane or some type of finish like that. So that's what the back of the tailpiece looks like. So we'll treat it to some slinkies. Just using a little bit of Dunlop fretboard cleaner and prep. I'm just using some of the Dunlop lemon oil. Put this on, we'll let it soak in. Wipe off the excess and get this thing strung up. So something interesting I noticed with the pick guard here, that isn't a sticker. That is, it's like it's painted on or something. So you can see in the pickup cavity, a little bit of finish missing on the binding there. Pickups really don't say a whole lot. Looks like neck. Let's see if we can get that tape out of there completely, see what it says underneath there. It says 24 or something like that, who knows, some kind of markings they do. It's 10.4. All right, so checking out what our pickups are rated at here. So I go to our neck position, 12.44. Bridge, 12.34. So that's kind of bizarre. See, again, the neck pickup's a little bit hotter than the bridge pickup. Who knows about these Chinese pickups? Middle, kind of about what you expect, about somewhere in the middle, 6.19. All right, put a little bit of graphite in the nut slot. Helps the string kind of glide along in it and not get it hung up. All right, so I've had this thing for a few weeks, you know, from my initial impressions on it. Still pretty happy with it. You know, I've been able to find little flaws here and there, little finish flaws, and pickups are really microphonic. They don't actually sound bad, but they just squeal in any kind of high gain, even kind of lower gain, they kind of want to squeal. The thing is very, very yellow. It's super yellow. I pulled the pickup covers off, and that was what was underneath. Like I had said earlier, I have a set of pickups out of a 81 Gibson Sonex that I'm going to put in. I'm going to get some pots, some new pots and stuff for it though, and completely rewire it. The frets on this one weren't bad at all. They're in pretty good shape. I just polished them up, restrung it with some Arnie Ball 10s, and it's really acoustically loud. The quality on these is, you know, it's not bad. And like I said, it's about like an Epiphone. Kind of feels like an Epiphone to me. For all the people who say, oh, it's just as good as a Gibson, maybe they've not played Gibsons, I don't know. Or they had a really bad experience with the Gibson, because it's not even close. Like I said before, I've had multiple Gibson Les Pauls and one custom shop Les Paul custom, and this isn't even close. You know, it looks cool. I'll give it that. And for less than $300 shipped to your door, I mean, you really can't go wrong. I don't know. Not a bad guitar. So we'll check out our neck pickup. Go to our neck and middle combined. Go to our bridge. You got a little bit of gain, you can hear the buzz, and it's just not quite, you can hear it's got quite a bit of feedback. So as you can hear, it doesn't sound too awful bad, but pickups are really microphonic. So that's something that can be changed, of course, along with all the hardware. The gold hardware on it to me is a little cheesy looking. It's not real high class stuff. Thought about maybe swapping it out for just like some nickel hardware or something, but you know, the sky's the limit on these things. I mean, they're so cheap, you can get them, you can mod them, and you can end up with a pretty decent playable guitar, you know, especially if you're going to go play out and you don't want to take your real Gibson. You can take this thing and not worry about if it gets stolen or beat up. Pretty cool guitar, though. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you like the content, like, give us a big old thumbs up, subscribe, and see you next episode.